Welcome to all the BSc second year students.
Start.
In first semester, that is before the Diwali vacations, we have seen the syllabus of this paper, plant ecology, then uh, plant and water relationship chapter, that is water is an ecological factor, light is an ecological factor, temperature is an ecological factor, and soil is an ecological factor, edaphic factor, that is the soil is a ecological factor. So details regarding the what is meant by edaphic factor, what is meant by pedogenesis, how the soil is erosion take place, means what is the process of soil formation, what are the different steps involved during the formation of soil formation, soil erosion, so then mixing of inorganic elements and organic elements. Then there is a after all these processes there is a formation of a fertile soil. Then we have seen composition of chemical composition of soil. Then we have also seen that is soil profile. After that we have seen that is soil conservation, how the soil is conserved by physical methods and biological methods. So all these things we have seen, details regarding this, all these things I have given. After that we have seen that is what is plant adaptation, what is plant adaptation, what are the different types of plant depending on their adaptive characteristics. So we have seen that is following are the plant communities, plant types of plants on the basis of their adaptation, that is xerophytes, hydrophytes, halophytes, mesophytes, and epiphytes. In our syllabus they have mentioned that is xerophytes, hydrophytes, halophytes, and epiphytes. Regarding the definition of xerophytes, hydrophytes, halophytes, and epiphytes, I have already given. Here, one by one, you have to be see that is morphological adaptation and anatomical adaptations. How these plants adapted for that particular environmental conditions. For example, in case of xerophytes, which whatever the plants are growing in that particular environmental conditions, they have their own adaptive characteristics for both morphological as well as anatomical. So xerophytic plants means the plants which are growing in a desert area, or plants which are growing in a area where there is a scarcity of water. Scarcity means very low quantity of waters, so that plants are known as xerophytes. In most of the desert areas, or the localities where there is a low rainfall, or where there is a scarcity of water, such plants are known as xerophytes. Then second one is hydrophytes. The name itself indicates that hydro means water, phyta means plants. The plants which are growing in water, they are known as hydrophytes. Most of the plants growing on the surface of water or floating on the water. There are some plants are there whose half body is merged in water and half body is above the water, and there are certain plant communities are there, they are completely in the water. So all these plants have their own adaptive characteristics to survive in that particular environmental conditions, so they are known as hydrophytes. Then third one is halophytes. Halophytes. Halophytes means the plants which are growing on a seashore area, or the plants which are growing in a salty soil, saline soil, they are known as halophytes. For example, mangroves. Most of the mangroves are growing in the seashore or seashore area. Seashore area. So they are known as halophytes. They have their own adaptive characteristics. And fourth one is epiphytes. Epiphytes. There are certain plants are there which are growing on other plant bodies for their supports. For example, Cuscuta, Vanda. So all these plants are known as epiphytic plants. So here you have to be see both morphological as well as anatomical adaptation, all these plant groups. First of all, you have to see what are xerophytes. Xerophytes, xerophytes. So already I have given the definition of xerophytes. That is, xerophytes means the plants which are growing in a desert area or where there is a scarcity of water are known as xerophytes. For example, aloe vera, cactus, Jujubas jujuba, Acacia arabica. Most of the plants which are growing in a locality where there is a scarcity of water, they are known as xerophytic plants. There are many plants are there whose characteristics are xerophytic one. So here, first of all, you have to see morphological adaptation. Morphological adaptive characteristics of xerophytic plants. First of all, you have to see the roots. In case of xerophytic plants, roots are well developed taproot system. Why these characters develop in these plants? They are very deep in the soil because due to the low quantity of water, they should have a capacity to absorb whatever the water is there in the soil. Therefore, in case of xerophytic plants, root system is well developed, taproot system, and whatever the length of shoot is there, more than that length of the root is there in certain xerophytic plants. It is an adaptive characteristics to absorb large quantity of water from soil. Roots. Then stem. So in majority of the xerophytic plant, stem is woody, well developed, hard, well developed, and they have a strong water vascular system. So therefore, in case of xerophytic plants, the stem is well developed, and that is the one of the important characteristics. Woody stem is a xerophytic characteristics. So after that, you have to see that is leaves. Leaves are a very important characteristics of xerophytic plants, and it is due to this adaptive characteristics of xerophytic plants, the plants have a capacity to store water, or that characteristics helps to avoid the rate of transpiration. Means very low rate of transpiration is observed in case of xerophytic plants. For example, in case of pinus plant is there, in which the leaves are scaly, needle-like. Means the lamina of leaves of xerophytic plants is very small, or it is very negligible, or it is leaves itself is needle type, because to reduce the rate of transpiration, it is most important the leaves become small, leathery, or it may be needle type. So if the leaves are larger in size. In that cases, they have a special type of stomata. Later on, we will see what type of stomatas are there in the xerophytic plants. So the leaves are needle type, needle, scaly. It is due to it is due to it is due to reduce the rate of transpiration. For example, in pinus, for example, in case of for example, in case of Zizupus zizuba, the stipules are modified into thorns. Leaves are very small. In case of Acacia arabica, the leaves are very small. It is due to it is for reduce the rate of transpiration. So all these morphological characters are most important, and they are adaptive characteristics. Similarly, in case of, as we know, in case of aloe vera, then that is aloe vera is there, and many xerophytic plants are there who the leaves are fleshy. Leaves are fleshy, and without leaves are fleshy, and there are certain xerophytic plants are there in which the stem itself green in color, because the cells of the stems are contains chlorophyll pigments. Due to the due to the size of the due to the needle type leaves, the photosynthetic process itself takes place in the stem. Therefore, they contain chlorophyll pigments. In such xerophytic plants, the photosynthesis takes place in a stem. So the details regarding the figure and that particular structure, later on I will give the figures of all these things. So due to this morphological adaptive characteristics, so they have been considered as a xerophytes. Similarly, for to study the internal structure of these xerophytic plants, we have to study the internal structure. For that, you have to take transverse section of TS of roots, TS of stem, and TS of leaves. So after taking the transverse section of root, stem, and leaves, we will be observed many adaptive characteristics in roots, stem, and leaves. Here I will mention which are the most important, some of the important adaptive characteristics in the case of roots. All these part of the plants, that is root, stem, and leaves, epidermal layer, outermost layer, is covered with a cuticle, thick cuticle, shiny layer. Due to the shiny layer, there is a reflection of light take place, and due to the reflection, then there is no transpiration process take place. That is one of the important characteristics. Just below the epidermis, the cortex contains three different types of tissues, that is sclerenchyma, cholenchyma, and parenchyma. In most of the xerophytic plants, the whole cortex is having sclerenchymatous tissues. Then well-developed endodermis, and after endodermis, they have a well-developed vascular system. They have a well-developed vascular system, means xylem and phloem. Another important characteristics in case of leaves of xerophytic plants, presence of sunken stomata. Here in case of xerophytic plants, due to the presence of sunken stomata, the stomata is covered with certain scaly structures deep in grooves, and due to the presence of scaly coverage, deeply situated guard cells, they will not be directly contact with sun rays, and due to the less amount of contact of these guard cells, then there is no transpiration process. For that, due to the presence of sunken stomata, the it is one of the most important adaptive characteristics of these xerophytic plants. So here you have to give one or two examples, or more than 4 to 5 examples of xerophytic plants. In that, any one plants, for example, Casuarina, Casuarina is there. In that, you have to explain both morphological and anatomical characteristics. In morphological adaptive characteristics, just you have to draw any parts of the plant body, that is leaves, stem and roots. Then while explaining the internal structure of xerophytic plants, you have to draw the separately TS of roots and then explain one by one points. Similarly, you have to take the transverse section, you have to draw the transverse section of the stem, then you have to explain what type of epidermis is there, what type of cells of cortex are there, what type of endodermis is there,